Hello everyone and welcome to I always want to say book review, but I don't really consider these book reviews anymore. Book facts. Okay, let's just go with that. Book talk. Welcome to a book talk. That's better. Welcome to a book talk about Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is book number 1 in the Boys of Tommen series. This takes place in Ireland. This is a sports young adult romance, the sport being rugby. So this was published in 2018. There are 5 books so far in this series. I don't know if that's going to be it or if it will continue on. This is a young adult. It's also tagged as new adult, but I would consider it more young adult because the eldest, we're following 2 POVs, Shannon and Johnny. Johnny is 17 years old. Shannon is 15. She does turn 16 later on in the series. So that's why I say more young adult because of the age category. But as far as the intensity of the trigger warnings, I would say more new adult to adult. So there is an audiobook and it is broken into 2 parts. So the part 1 audiobook is 15 hours and 11 minutes on standard 1x speed. Part 2 audiobook is 10 hours and 40 minutes. So you're looking at overall the audiobook being 25 hours and 51 minutes. This is told in first person and you're alternating again between Shannon and Johnny. So Johnny is the captain of the high school rugby team. He is also in line to become I don't know. It's kind of like to go from the high school team to not really college, but think like NBA type of a thing, but with rugby. So he's in line to do that. So he is a big deal. Everyone knows him. It's in a small town in Ireland. His parents moved from Dublin, and they are bigwigs. His mom is in fashion, and his dad is a big shot lawyer. So he's pretty well off. And yeah, he's just captain of the rugby team. There's talk of how he's got to be careful, especially now that he's 17 and is getting towards the end of his school playing time. He needs to try to keep as clean as possible as far as his image goes. He doesn't want to be trapped by rugby bunnies or whatever they're called, basically girls that are in it for the sexual attraction of the rugby player and the fame, and to be associated with that, not because they like the sport. So the POV from Shannon, she is bullied at school and she is abused at home. She is bullied at school to the point that her parents transfer her from the school that she was in to this school, Tommen. That's where this takes place, is at the Tommen school, hence Boys of Tommen. So she goes there and things are better. She has a better school life than she did before. So you're following her as she does that. Day 1, she ends up getting knocked in the head by a rugby ball, ends up with a little bit of a concussion and things like that. And it just kind of takes off as far as the connection because the ball was either kicked or thrown by Johnny. And so obviously he feels guilty, and then he feels protective of her because she is this small thing. She's like 5 feet or 5'1", something like that. So she's short. And there's a lot of talk of how tiny she is and little she is. And so he feels very protective of her. Shannon, I would say this has LGBT rep. However, it is kind of glossed over. Shannon has 2 older brothers. One is about Johnny's age, one is older than that. At one point there is talk of how the elder brother, the eldest child of the family ended up, how the kids ended up in foster care, and the eldest ended up sexually abused as a child. And there's talk of him, like some homophobic comments about how that turned him gay type of a thing, which is just ridiculous. But that's the type of home environment that Shannon lives in, that type of stuff is what's thrown around. Okay, so that's pretty much what this is. It's just a romance between a 15-year-old. She does turn 16 at 15 at least in this book. I don't know if that's actually the case in Ireland, But in this book in Ireland, it is illegal to have a relationship with a 15-year-old, but she becomes legal when she is 16. So, and hence that's part of why Johnny is protective of her. He wants no one to do anything to her. So that's what this book is about. Now let's get into content and trigger warnings. So you have bullying. You have, I've got them all written down here. Let me make sure I'm not missing any. Yep, okay. There are several content and trigger warnings, so please be cautious heading into this. Only pick it up if you are comfortable with what I'm about to tell you. So, you have sex with a minor, sex with a child. You have miscarriage talked about, as well as child abuse and neglect. And you're seeing the abuse and the neglect. It is very descriptive on the page. You have homophobia. You have emotional abuse. Domestic abuse as well. Bullying. You have physical assault. You have suicidal ideation. Sexual harassment. Alcoholism. Gambling addiction. You have an affair talked about. And I'm going to say this one on in here. I personally don't consider this, I mean, I guess it could depending on how comfortable you are, but there's a part in this where Shannon gets her first period, and so it's talking about how basically there's a point that you have something that is very embarrassing to every woman, even more so being in school. I had it happen to me and I was like awful. It was just awful. So your first period and the trials and pain and stuff that comes along with that. So first period talked about. Take with that what you will. Okay. So that's your content and trigger warning. This particular book does end a bit on a cliffhanger. So I do have the second book up on deck whenever I'm ready to delve back into this world. Again, it is heavy with the amount of abuse that you are seeing. Okay. All right, now in case you're on the fence, still on the fence, let's now get into the word counts. Please be aware, some of these words, I'm assuming they are more vulgar, but these are words that are more, my understanding is slang in Ireland, stuff that I don't really hear in the United States, so I'm not 100% positive on the actual definition. There is a glossary in the front. I have yet to go through it. I picked up the general gist of it, so I'm good with that. A couple of words that I did not tally was screw and piss, but those do pop up quite a bit, as well as the word, now this word comes up twice but has two different usages. The one I'm talking about right now is the word pussy, but it's referring to like a cat in this case. It's like, oh, the pussy's in the bathroom pooping in the toilet type of a thing. So, and that's actually a scene from the book, and that is funny. So, but it's from reference to a cat, so I did not tally that. So those are some words that do come up that I did not tally. Now, let's go ahead and get into the words that I did tally. Please be aware, there's always a chance, especially where it's more like when I was listening to the audiobook, trying to listen to what's the word? Not slang, lilt? No, I don't know. The tone of how something is said with an Irish accent. Listening to that with reading along, there's a higher chance of some tallies that were missed. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we have the word breast 4 times. Oh, and there is no open door sex in this, so you don't need to worry about anything sexually explicit. Fondling 1 time. Shitstorm twice. Hellbent 4. Damn 29, bitch 32, bastard 34, the word cunt 11, horseshit once. Oh, and I did forget this. You also have, I would say, some body gore in this. You are seeing a sports injury, and they do talk about blood and pus. Okay, so you have that as well. Okay, continuing on. So horseshit once. You have, now it was either spelled ass, A-S-S, or arse, A-R-S-E. Either way, it's the same word, just spelled a little different to indicate accent. 94 times. You have the word damn it 26 times. You have the name Jesus coming up 128 times. Now, sometimes it is spelled in the usual J-E-S-U-S, but at times it is spelled J-A-Y-S-U-S. And I just combined them because it's the same thing. And it was not always in a religious sense. Sometimes it was, sometimes it's not. The name Christ comes up 105 times. Again, sometimes religious, sometimes not. You have the word or the phrase goddamn coming up 37. Bumfuck once. Now this one has two different spellings as well, but it's pretty much the same thing. Bollocks, B-O-L-L-O-C-K-S, or the spelling B-O-L-L-O-X, coming up 15 times. You have the word gobshite 6 times. Dick, 77. So as you can see, this is a bit more vulgar. And this edition was 603 pages, I think. Yeah, 603 pages. So something to keep in mind. And then we have the word pussy, like the actual bodily anatomy, coming up 16 times. Tool, 3. Another word with two different spellings meaning the same thing. You have asshole at the A-S-S-H-O-L-T or H-O-L-E, or arsehole, A-R-S-E-H-O-L-E, coming up 43 times. Tits comes up 26. The word cock, 28. Erection, 2. Hard, 5. Dickhead, 2. Prick, 23. Bullshit, 32. This one, it was either bleeding or bloody. Same usage, just current tense and past tense. Comes up 95 times. Clusterfuck, 2. Horny, 3. Spunk, 1. Sperm, 4. Prickface, 3. Balls comes up 52. Batshit, 7. And it's talking about, like, the phrase is actually someone is being batshit crazy, or that person is like that. So that's how it's used. Porn or porno comes up 3 times. Wankfest, once. Penis, 12. Head, once. Come, C-O-M-E, 3 times. Vagina, 6. Blowjob, once. Orgasm, 3. Masturbate, once. Ride, and some of these could be in past tense as well, but ride, 14. Cock block, 2. The phrase godawful, 7. Sac, S-A-C, male anatomy, 4 times. The word molest, twice. Ejaculate, 3 times. Wank, 1. Cum, C-U-M, twice. The phrase get off, once. Slut, 7. Tip, once. Spanner, once. Cooch, once. Shit-faced, once. Dry hump, once. Ruck, 5. Shag, ruck twice, shag 5. I got those two numbers mixed up. So ruck twice, shag 5 times. Flanker, once. Shithead, once. The word suicide, 4 times. The word rape, twice. The name Lord, 3 times. Usually not in a religious sense. Junk, 3. Fuckface, once. Whoring, twice. Castrate, once. Prude, twice. Testicles, once. Slag, once. Tramp, 4 times. Shithole, twice. Package, once. Man-whore, once. Whore, 19. Mindfuck, once. Half-ass, once. Hell, 133 times. The term or the letters WTF, just like that, WTF, once. Shitload, once. Mouthfuck, once. Clit, 7. The term goddammit, twice. Stones, once. Shaft, once. Wet dream, once. Nipple, once. Thrust, once. Shit eating, twice. Wet, once. Tap, once. This one has a different spelling. Shit, S-H-I-T, or shite, S-H-I-T-E. Either way, same meaning, comes up 274 times. Hammer, once. Goal line, once. Sexual usage, not sports or anything like that. The word God comes up 223 times, sometimes in a religious sense, sometimes not, but mostly done religiously, I would say. Well, that one, can't really remember, but a good portion done religiously. Grind, one time, and the last word that comes up the most in this book is fuck, at 921 times. I am surprised it didn't come up over 1,000. So 921 times. So that's the content and trigger warnings. That's what this book is about, and the word counts. Let me know, is this something that you would be interested in reading, or now hearing the facts on this book, are you interested in this still, or are you going to give it a pass? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.